Um, Politics was rough and nasty well before Free Republic came on the scene. So, well, what it has done, and Free Republic was early on in it, and liberals and everyone else are catching up to it. But it's given the average person a voice out there that can be seen and read and responded to all around the world. I mean, it's made politics very much a two-way street, made reporting very much a two-way street, made the entertainment industry very much a two-way street too.
I want to take one last round of questions. There are 2 questions up here. The woman at the very top of the row in the middle, and then another woman with brown hair and a peach top in the middle.
Thank you. I'm Lori Littman Brown. I live in D.C. And like the gentleman down there, I never bought a Dixie Chicks CD or listened to them until this happened. But when they performed in D.C., the Verizon Center was packed. And they said, these are the most people we've ever played for. And I know there were a lot of people like me who were new fans, who were not necessarily country music fans. So is that now where it's going, where they're just gaining this huge new following?
Yes, we hope so. The Dixie Chicks, and maybe it'll also bring back some of country fans again, because I think there's a lot of country fans who sort of secretly love the Dixie Chicks and are maybe afraid to say so, and maybe now they will. But yes, they're trying to play to a whole new audience. What the Dixie Chicks have said to me is that now they feel free. Now they feel like they can say anything and write anything and be among people who will respect them for who they are. And that's awfully liberating for them.
This gentlewoman up here in the middle who had a question?
Yeah, that's me. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and I was raised in Garland, Texas, which, for those of you who don't know, is the city or the town that King of the Hill is based on. And that's the truth, because Mike Judge lived there for a while. Anyway, as a young woman myself, it's really inspiring to see these women become very strong. And I would like to know what you all think as to how much of the backlash against them was aided by the fact that they're women. In other words, do you see any kind of gendered aspect to the firestorm that came up around this? Do you think the response would have been different if this had been a group of men?
I think that plays a role, because I think that was part of the reason why it becomes newsworthy in the first place, is that people still don't expect women to take strong stands, and when they take any kind of stand, that caused someone to raise an eyebrow. I'm sure there are plenty of people, including plenty of performers, who are saying just as harsh things, if not harsher things, but may not have raised an eyebrow because they were tough guys. One thing, just responding to some of what was said earlier, I think that kind of the way, if you don't like what the Free Republic and other people were doing with this, I don't think the way for us to approach it is to sort of carp and complain and say, well, why shouldn't you just be a bit more polite about this? I mean, I think that the answer is that we, as progressives, have to do what they do better than them. And that's how it's going to be corrected. People aren't going to be polite, and what you need to do is you need to be able to communicate your message better than they can communicate their message. And I think we're a long way from being there right now, but I think we're probably better off than we were in 2003.
Barbara, do you want to talk about the gender issues involving the Chicks?
Well, as I said earlier, I think it was country, and I just think that nobody knew what they were dealing with when they said something about the Chicks. I think they just didn't realize that the Chicks were going to fight back in the way that they fought back, and they thought that they were getting these all-American girls that would crumble when people started putting pressure on them, and that just isn't who the Chicks are. So I think it made them stronger, it made them more resilient, and it made them more courageous.
Do you have a view, Kristen?
Well, to get back, I don't think it was a gender issue. I think the country is quite familiar and comfortable with women being in the lead and women taking strong positions. Hillary Clinton, for example, Sandra Day O'Connor, Barbara Jordan, Margaret Thatcher, I mean, yeah. Ann Coulter, thank you.
These aren't the ordinary chicks, these Dixie chicks. I mean, Toby Keith, in the South, we don't pick on women normally. But he can talk about booting the ass all he wants, but if he goes up and gets the Dixie chicks, I bet one of them gets the boot in the ass.
Well, on that note.
Could you give us just a little information about the distribution of the film, what's coming out?
Absolutely. Barbara, please.
Yes. The Weinstein Company is distributing it. It's going to be opening, I think, in New York and LA on October 27th. And then it's going to come to Washington and other areas on November 10th and open, much wider. And that's so far as the distribution plans.
So with that, please join me in thanking our panel.